Here's the thing. Originally, I wanted this video to be like a bit more organized, at least with my thoughts. Like, I took notes and everything because when I'd watch my videos back after uploading them, I'd realize that there are like one or two things I forgot to talk about that I really wanted to. And so, like, I wrote notes and everything for like everything that I wanted to talk about. And I want it to be like really organized, but then I tried recording like that, and this is like draft number 5 right now, because the other times my brain just got caught up on things, it stuttered, and it was just very frustrating and wasn't very fun to do. So, you know what? Gonna have to forgive me if I stumble over my words, or if this video is like kind of if I jump around a lot, because I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. My brain is like I'm trying to get it to focus on like saying the things properly. So just please bear with me. Uh, I'm doing my best here. I'm doing my best. Speaking of doing our best, Baku sure was doing his, huh? Awesome segue from me. But I think it's honestly pretty bold to put a by the way, the world will end if you don't defeat this guy segment into episode 3 of a show that's probably gonna be like in its 40s for episode count, but I respect it because, like, well, first of all, it was cool as hell, but it also gave more context for some of the situations involving the conflict, the threats, the consequences of what happens if Baku doesn't manage shit in time. Um and that yeah, oh god man. I love the nightmares. We literally know nothing about them because we've only seen 2 of them. uh and like we've only seen 2 of them, but it's I'm so interested because I just think the concept is so cool, and how it seems like they're literally modeled after people's fears. And like, I mean, I the fucking Raven nightmare, or that previewed for the next episode, certainly made me go, huh, that feels like a very kind of like strong divergence from bomb or like bomb or gun. But I'm wondering if it could be the nightmare of falling, the nightmare of like crashing during a flight, the uh could go like a more, yeah, like the symbolistic or associative thoughts with, I don't know, maybe related to the fear of carrion, the dead shit, carrion, or disease, or it could straight up be a fear of black creatures due to superstition, or just a fear of ravens, crows, or birds that are associated with the omen of death. It could be any of those, or it could be none of those. And I could be very off the mark. But it's I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see more nightmares, and I've loved their designs so far. Their designs have been like so good. They're so fun. They are so fun, and they are creative, and I love it. But enough speculation. Shoving that to the side. Well, I mean, we're going to be coming back to the speculation, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So information learned about the nightmares. Um, well, I mean, I guess the most obvious thing to address would be the mind doors. So what I'm assuming is happening with them is you get 3 tries. You get 3 tries to defeat the nightmare, and after that third try, it escapes into the real world. Um, and it seems that it's spread out over 3 nights. So so it's like 3 attempts in general before shit hits the fan really quickly. Um, and it's also interesting because it's like it makes more sense then because I assume that by finding the night doors, what are the night doors? By finding the mind doors, um, like I assume that if you found the mind doors, you'd be able to like shut the nightmare out, and like banish it from the mind or something. But it seems to be more of a case if you get to these mind doors and you look through and like you look through their keyhole, you are able to see where the nightmare is planning on targeting next. So it's not exactly like a solve 'em issue, but it's more of one to like it helps you get the jump on them. And I gotta say as well, the open doors being like these enclosed rooms with like this kind of like projector imagery shining on the walls, the floor, the ceiling, so cool. Really get like it really gets across like simultaneously the damage that's been done, but also in a more enclosed way. Cause like they're not meant to be like I don't think they're meant to exactly be like gateways into the location that it's showing. It's more of a display that's occurring. Uh and also the nightmares I genuinely do not remember if we saw anything in episode 2 that relates to this, but the nightmares being able to impact the real world before they even hit their third stage is like it's so interesting because you know what it reminds me of, and funny enough, this it's not going to be the first like Deno comparison that I've seen because I mean you've seen the joke you've I don't know what you've seen, that's me being presumptuous, but I've seen the jokes of comparing Ryotaro and Baku as, you know, the two kind of like unlucky riders there. um, but then you have like the Imogen, who, you know, they affect the past and then it's reflected in the present, as well as like with the nightmares, like what the damage they do in the dream world then translates to the outside world. And then literally just the scene with uh the bomb nightmare completing its objective and like exploding the police office and then like kind of absorbing Tetsuya. I joked while watching that it's literally like a reverse Deno situation, except instead of the monster going inside you, you go inside the monster. uh and well, I mean, when you go inside the monster, it becomes your skin suit. uh Insane thing for me to say, I think, but I don't know. The word skin suit is funny, and I like using it whenever I can. But anyway, pushing more Deno comparisons to the side for a second. Um, okay, hold on. I'm checking my notes here real quick. Boop, 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 boop. Was there anything else I was gonna say about the nightmares? Oh, yes. Obviously, the elephant in the room being the fact that Baku didn't win before the bomb nightmare uh, was able to come to the real world. And it's interesting because, well, once again, this feels like something that's very finale-ish in a way, but it's only episode 3. But we do not see anyone after the purple butterflies of terror arrive. Like, people are clearly enraptured by them, but then we just don't see anybody else until after the bomb nightmare's been defeated. So is it like, did they vanish, or were they in one location? Because I don't believe that Baku would just not run into anyone on his way to confront the bomb nightmare. So I wonder if we're gonna get we're I wonder. I think we're definitely gonna get more details about what exactly, kind of a true nightmare in the real world entails. Because Zero said it was going to be the end of the world if it happened, and it didn't end up happening. But it got very close. So there's got to be something more to it. And I think there's probably going to be a lot of close calls that are going to happen throughout the show's runtime. Um, Before I elaborate, more on my thoughts of the ending scene, I want to talk about Baku real quick because my sweet, sweet darling boy. Oh my god, I constantly feel so bad for him. Like, even in his cool job where he gets to be a cool grasshopper secret agent, he's still being constantly slapped in the face by the hand of fate. Because it's like, no, 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 you can't have anything easy ever. You still have to suffer, by the way. And I imagine it's gonna get worse. But he was just trying his absolute best. And like, it must suck as well because he has nobody to turn to. And he was gonna go talk to like Tetsuya, but he wasn't. Well, I was gonna say he wasn't allowed access, but I mean, like, technically he kind of was. It's because the division was disbanded, but it was more so as in, they can't. He wasn't permitted to have like the location of Tetsuya. So yeah, he really could. He's had no one to talk to throughout this whole episode except for Zero, who kind of just does. By the way, there's no more room for error on this. Shit's getting fucked, bro. Please do this. Please do this for the love of God. Um, I will say though, I absolutely commend Baku on his godly ability to fall asleep at the speed of sound. Like, if I was in his position, I would be failing so hard simply because I would not be able to get to sleep quick enough to actually do my job. So this man, like, the I think on like the wiki it stated that like like a power of his or ability or however it's classified was like lucid dreaming, and it's like, yep, that is something he has. Also, his second ability is to fall asleep fast as fuck. Mark that down because I think that's a feat. That's a feat within itself. If if Zero chose anyone with insomnia, the world would be dead by now. The world would be gone, eradicated. Um, Also, that scene where Baku just like wakes up in the street on a bed, and then Zero comes up to him and is like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I kind of like, I motorcycled you to the scene." It's like, how did you do that? How did you do that? Did you like drag his bed behind you? Did you did you drag his bed behind you? Did you like bridal carry him and then find a mattress somewhere and just like plopped him on it and didn't bother to like wake him up even? Like, I want to know so badly how that actually played out because I have so many questions. Uh I just have so many questions. Although the visual of Baku waking up in the street in the bed was so good. Like, I I know I've mentioned it before, but I just really love the visuals and like the design work of this show, like the wall of posters, the mannequins in the jail cells, the coloring choices. Like, it's all so pleasing to me and it looks so good, and I love that the show has like a clear visual style because that's fun. I like that. That is great. Um Enough dilly-dallying though. Time to talk about that ending fight because holy shit, I was practically yelling at my TV screen in excitement because we get to see more of the transform ability, but Zetsu just goes fucking ballistic with it. like turning his foot into a scythe, like conjuring all those weapons to repeatedly beat the shit out of the Bomb Nightmare, using his fingers as a makeshift net to catch his fire blast. Like, that's so fun! And that's not even, like, mentioning the killing blow being, like, him, I don't remember, I think it was his arm, like, having it stretch out and, like, smash into a wall, and then, like, have it, like, loop around, come back out, and, like, just strike it from behind. That's such a cool fucking thing! Like, that's just so cool. It's so fun to be able to see, like, transformation abilities being used so creatively. It's just, it was so good. I like, it just makes me even more excited for how he's going to use it in even more creative ways. It was just cool as hell. Um, I am curious though, like, because he turned into Zetsu in the waking world. Is that something that he can do in the waking world? And, like, I know this sounds crazy, but, like, hear me out real quick. Like, is it possible, like, because at that point, the purple butterflies of doom or whatever, like, at this point, the Bomb Nightmare's kind of, like, aura was, like, all over the city, country, I don't know. But it was all over the place. So, in a way, it kind of feels like it allowed it to exist outside of the dream. So, I'm wondering if, like, can Zetsu actually transform, like, in the waking world, or is it something that is limited to dreams and can only happen in the waking world after a nightmare has taken over? Like, I'm wondering about, like, I'm curious of like, the limitations of it in that way. Maybe it was stated somewhere, I have no idea, but I am curious about that aspect of it. And I guess my last point of note to question is I'm very interested in what, like, Nox has going on. Because it's like, what is he gaining out of this? What is he gaining out of, like, letting the nightmares into this world? Because he doesn't really do the dirty work. Like, he showed up to talk to Baku, sure, but he didn't really, like, attack him with his hands, or with his hands. I mean, like, kind of directly, if that makes sense. Like, he was just there, he just said some things, and then he just, like, fucked off. So, I'm curious what he's potentially getting out of this. Like, what's his deal going on? It's a mystery. But ultimately, very good episode. It's so cool, and it also really sets the stakes, like, higher, because it's like, if we're doing something of this scale during episode 3, then, like, how far are we gonna go with this? Like, how far is it, like, how much more can we, like, escalate this as the show goes on? I am very interested in what they potentially just might be cooking up in the writer's room.